over the past fortnight, there's been an interesting development in the Congress. And this is how the party has handled the situation in Punjab. And it's a significant contrast from how it's handling the situation in Rajasthan, or how it has handled the situation in Rajasthan. In Punjab, of course, the party has shown great alacrity in responding to the dissidence that is being shown by some members of the party, responding to the criticism against the incumbent Chief Minister Amarinder Singh. And a report seems to have been submitted suggesting some form of a compromise formula, which, based on our reporting, I don't think is particularly acceptable to the Chief Minister. It is a little strange for the simple reason that in Amarinder Singh, you probably have a Chief Minister who can deliver Punjab to the party next year when the assembly elections comes around again. And one of the reasons for this, of course, is the farm protest, which has pretty much decimated the opposition in the state. Sure, the Akalis have split from the BJP and gone their own way, but I'm not sure that they're going to make that much of an inroad into the Congress's base in Punjab at this point in time. I just think the split came way too late. And the farm protest in many ways has strengthened Amarinder Singh's hand. So it's very strange that the Congress party should choose to do this. And it's even stranger that the party is backing Navjot Sidhu. And there's been talk of him even being made Deputy Chief Minister, which is a little strange for the simple reason that this is a man who was initially in the BJP. When he left, there was a lot of talk about him joining the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, many people in the Aam Aadmi Party led reporters to believe that it was a certainty and it had happened. And then he joined the Congress. And now there are reports that if he's not accommodated in a senior position, he may leave. There does seem to be a lot of antipathy between him and the Chief Minister. And it's rather strange that the party is choosing to ignore a very powerful Chief Minister and take the side of a dissident. It's whimsical. And I can't really explain why this is being done, other than to repeat myself and point out that it's whimsical. And it's not just me saying it, a lot of people say this. Now you have to contrast this with what's happening in Rajasthan, where, of course, there was this huge drama that was played out last year by Sachin Pilot and legislators who were supporting him, who almost left the Congress because Sachin had issues with the Chief Minister, Ashok Gehlot. He felt that he had worked so much in Rajasthan that he deserved a shot at the Chief Ministership. That wasn't to be. He was made to accept the Deputy Chief Ministership, which he did. But according to reports that came out around that time, the relations between the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister deteriorated to a great extent. Many of Sachin's supporters were sort of eased out or relegated to the sidelines of the power structure, which resulted in them sort of moving to a resort in Haryana and making it evident that they could quit the party. There were rumors at that time that Sachin could be joining the BJP. There were reports that he could be forming a party of its own. And then, of course, the Gandhis intervened. Some sort of peace formula was worked out. A committee was set up. Now, and here's the similarity, right? I mean, in Punjab, they were very fast to set up a committee. Rajasthan, they set up a committee. The Punjab committee has actually submitted a report. But in Rajasthan, it's been 10 months. And as Sachin Pilot told Hindustan Times earlier this week, there's been no movement on anything that was promised in the committee. And clearly there is a lot of restlessness on the part of Sachin Pilot. There's a lot of restlessness in his team. And so it's rather strange that a party that chooses to behave whimsically and in Punjab takes a very different position in Rajasthan. Both events actually point to a larger malaise, and a lot of people have been writing about this. A lot of analysts have been commenting on this, and it is something that's been evident for the last several years. And it manifests itself in forms that are small and big. So I consider that both the Punjab and the Rajasthan incidents are of significant magnitude. Of course, the Congress party's response is very different in both places. But you take the defection of JITIN Prasada, who's a loyalist of the party in many ways, from the party. He's a leader in Uttar Pradesh, and not a hugely powerful leader with a great base, for the simple reason that he has lost 3 successive elections, but still a leader. And in Uttar Pradesh, where the party is not particularly strong, there's no other way to say it. You take what you get, and they had this gentleman, long history of association with the Congress, going back to his father, and he's now decided to join the BJP, like many other Congress leaders had over the last several years. Most prominent examples being Himanta Biswa Sharma, who's actually now the Chief Minister of Assam, was the man who was really one of the driving forces in the Congress. And I think ever since he moved to the BJP, the difference has been palpable. The entire Northeast is now dominated by the BJP simply because of what he has done in terms of alliances, in terms of his own work. And of course, he's been rewarded by making him the Chief Minister of Assam after the elections this time. And the other example is JYOTIRADITYA Scindia in Madhya Pradesh, who again tried his best in the Congress. And I think in his case, again, things were made untenable for him in the Congress. And when you have no other option, some people decide that it's time to move out. And again, with JITIN Prasada, I think it points to that old malaise. He of course, is not a mass leader, like I mentioned, but it will still hurt the party in Uttar Pradesh, where, quite honestly, the best outcome for the Congress in next year's assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh will be coming in a healthy 4th, right? I mean, because I don't think the party can expect it to do better than the BJP, the Samajwadi Party, the Bahujan Samaj Party. I don't think it can expect to do better than any of them. It might try and strike an alliance. Of course, last time the Congress alliance with the ASP got them nowhere. But it's unfortunate that this party seems to be unraveling in some ways, because there is no consistency in management. There doesn't seem to be a unifying glue which sort of holds the party together. And I think we will see more of this in times to come.